Hello, my friends. Welcome or welcome back. I am your local art witch, and today we are continuing our journey into the Minor Arcana of Tarot. We have arrived at the number 8. We have been doing amazing on our journey, I think. We've come a long way. And because I've been doing this one by one, it feels like I have really been living this journey. I did film this video here right after my 7s, so that way my 7s would be super fresh in my mind, and so that's why the lighting is still a little wonky. Super overcast, hoping for a thunderstorm today, but all that said, let's get into it. Today I am just focusing on the Modern Witch Tarot because one is the deck I use the most. It is the deck I feel most comfortable. It's the right deck. I don't know how to describe it, but it is the right deck for me. And the pictures are exactly what I need, and I just love the diversity. And if I could tell everybody what their very first deck would be, this would be the one. From left to right, I have the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. 8 is a number of movement. After our moment of action or inaction last time, we are getting moving again. We're back on our journey, and we can see here all the characters are doing something. Let's start with our cups, and we see this traveler, and they're hiking somewhere. It's at night, and they're leaving all these cups behind. I get this idea of going on a journey to achieve either personal or spiritual growth, a sign that things need to change. All these cups are here, and they're walking away from them. These are not serving this person anymore. Cups is the water element, and water is about our emotions, our family, those relationships that really matter to us, romance, friendships, things that would hurt if something were to happen. And this is walking away from those things to realign. The 8, now I really like this 8. Generally the 8 of Wands only has these 8 wands, but here in this one we see a person on a motorcycle, and we really get the idea that they are moving fast. We are just going, and that's exactly what the 8 of Wands is about. We are moving. This is sudden change. We are progressing, and we are just, pardon the pun because Wands is fire, but we are on fire for whatever is happening. Maybe some news that we weren't expecting, progress, foreign travel perhaps. And because it's such a fast card, and these these wands are in the air, like foreign travel, maybe even by airplane. Like we are going somewhere, things are changing for us, and it feels really exciting. The 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles is the earth element, and we're thinking about career, monetary, financial type stuff, and that isn't just the physical money in your hands, but your assets, the money in your bank, the possessions in your house. And I really like this one. As a person who likes to draw, I went to animation school. I really relate to this character at her animation desk drawing. Just this to me does look like work. I know how time consuming it is, and this gives us the idea of talent, energy, effort. Perhaps this is a recently discovered talent after our moment of contemplation in the 7. It could be, this new talent could be a new exciting profession for us. Your former chapters have ended. That's not the end. You can start something new. So this is exciting. 8 of Swords looks a little bit more negative. We have this character standing out in the middle of a field of some kind. They are tied up, they are blindfolded, and they are surrounded by these swords that are in the dirt. We need to be patient, confidence, honesty, not just to others, but even with ourselves. Indecision is happening here, like she's frozen. Indecision from perhaps fear, from where it's swords and it's air, confrontation, like some sort of verbal disagreement, or even text, email, some sort of disagreement, or this idea of being blind, maybe purposely not seeing all of the facts that are laid out before them. maybe somebody's being sneaky, that type of thing. So pretty exciting. A lot has happened. It feels like we just put on the gas pedal after resting in the 7. So if we go back and we think of these reversed, if your reading was like this, the reversal is basically the inverse, a misplay almost of the meaning when it is upright. And thinking of it that way, for me at least, is extremely helpful, because instead of when you're trying to first learn tarot and there's so many cards, like 78, I want to say off the top of my head, you feel like that you have to memorize all 78 cards. And then when you realize that there's reversals, you have to now memorize the upside down meaning. That's 78 plus 78. That's a lot. And that's not helpful. So I would always suggest to try to build your associations with the cards upside right, and then tackle them upside down later. You want to build your own intuition, your confidence in yourself, and knowing what you know first before trying to tackle a whole new situation. And then thinking of it inverse still means you only really need to have not even memorization, but you only have to remember 78 as opposed to double that. So we were going on a journey, leaving things behind with the 8 of Cups when it was upside right. And it was a feeling of, this is good, this is okay. We need to get back in touch with ourselves, with our spirituality, with whatever it is. Reversal, we still have that desire for change. It could be too sudden of a change, maybe a difficult choice of direction, maybe disappointment in a friendship, a relationship, maybe a romance that went wrong, fear of commitment. Cups is about relationships, that water emotional element, and it doesn't always have to be romantic. It's just something that really matters a lot to you. The 8 of Wands. Remember, we were going, things were looking great, travel. Here, we're still moving, but it's not quite as fast. Things are getting in our way. Disputes, jealousy, insecurity, and it's not nearly as positive as it would be if it was upside right. The 8 of Pentacles. Remember, upside right, new career possibly, new talent, new energy. This would be an inverse of that. So lack of concentration, maybe the inability to put in that effort, lack of ambition, lack of being able to think outside the box. 8 of Swords, so patience, confidence, upside right, being careful about our lack of indecision, especially due to whatever it is that's happening around us. Upside down, progress is going to begin. Like, we're gonna get out of that moment of contemplation that we were stuck in with 8, and the negativity and contemplation of the 7. It was about indecision from fear, confrontation, maybe somebody being dishonest with us, or us being dishonest with ourselves even. These negative feelings are going to be fading, things are going to heal, confidence will be returning. So sometimes it can be really nice to see a card upside down. Swords in particular are quite tricky because they deal with this verbal aspect, and it's more emotional, I find, more heartbreaking in Swords than it even is in Cups. Cups in general as a suit is pretty positive, but Swords has a lot of these themes of betrayal, heartbreak, somebody close to you saying or doing something that's going to hurt your reputation. If you were to do a pull and you got something like this, what I would get from this, if this was what I just pulled, things are going to be moving for me very fast, it looks like. A big old change in my life. Now, if this was really, honestly, what I pulled, I would actually feel really discouraged by this, because I just ended this chapter right here. things in my life were changing really, really fast. And I knew they were changing. I know how to take a hint from the universe. I could see doors closing on me. Things were not working out. And it was just obstacle after obstacle. And I'm like, it shouldn't be this difficult. It doesn't have to be this difficult. I know what I know. And I know I'm not technically doing anything wrong, but a chapter was coming to an end for me. And everything in my life was reinforcing that. Everything kind of became a real slog to achieve. And it wasn't lack of motivation, although that did start to happen for me because bad thing after bad thing happens. It is hard to keep your motivation up. And then I left my job because that was what was closing on me. I was getting really sick. And I wasn't happy about it because, as I said, it was happening faster than I wanted it to. I wasn't quite ready to leave. I wanted to cross my T's, dot my I's, but the universe did not have that in mind for me. And looking back, that was for the better, for my mental health, my physical health. So in general, depending on where you are, this is not there's no such thing as a bad hand, really. It's just, I would not want this right now because it feels like my world, I just started getting it upside right again in a new way. And I'm not ready for another huge thing of growth. Not right now. So those are the eights and how they react to that in different ways, depending on the element in which they are appearing. I hope this was helpful. And if so, I would love it if you could just leave a like, let me know. What do you find helpful? Are there different ways I could talk about these cards that may help you to retain naturally? I'm not thinking memorization. That's not what we want. We want to follow our intuition completely, but we do need to have some associations. So if there are other ways that you think might be more helpful, please let me know. I would love to hear it. And we can discuss it from there. I would like to do a couple live streams, maybe like a once a month live stream, especially once my children are back in school, where we could pull some cards, as in I will pull cards for you guys and read them. I would love to get to know y'all better and build my confidence reading for others. I'm fine on my own, but I get real stage fright when I'm reading for other people, and that is something I would like to conquer. And it would just be a cool way to hang out, I think. So those are the eights of tarot. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoy just being here with you guys, spending time. And that's everything for today. I have been your local art witch. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you all again next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.